Well, it seems like climate action is fun for you. You're
Yeah.
enjoying picking out your food and feeling the closeness to the planet. So it's not like this task that you have to undertake. It's something that you really incorporate into your everyday.
Yeah. I think it's the biggest expression of your values is how you live your life and what you prioritize. And if someone said climate and planetary health and awareness and consideration, is that your top note? I would say no, it's a foundational base of who I am.
Mm. So, how does being an environmentalist affect how you parent?
It's a top note. I think my kids would say I'm super dark green.
Okay.
And, I think one of the greatest responsibilities as a parent and duties as a parent is to instill a level of communication and empowerment around the choices that we have. If you want to look at your future, look at your daily choices and how you're living your life. And I think that small, deliberate, consistent actions that are informed and thoughtful equal a life well lived.
That's really powerful to think about it on a daily basis. Are the kids receptive or are they rebellious?
Both.
Okay.
And you expect that, you want that, you want them to be critical thinkers and ask the question, why? All of the whys is them getting the knowledge base. Like I don't come down, I come from below with energy and with consistency around that communication. I think when it feels from a power dynamic, if it feels like it's heavy and dictatorial, it's not it doesn't come from a place of harmony and collaboration. And so I want them to feel like they're empowered to make the choice themselves, to understand the information, to assimilate it in their own way, to ask the questions on why and why not, and to think about it in a thoughtful way. And yeah, oftentimes they push back
Mm.
and they like, come on, Dad, that's not that bad. I'm like, no, actually, let's think about it. Let's get some
Mhm.
information. Let's do some research.
How do you bring up climate activism or eating well or some of those other environmental actions in your day to day?
I think it's best with your peers to be subtle about it and to let your actions speak and have them lean into it. If it comes up in conversation or how I live and how I eat and what I drive, and I typically try to weave it in as a data point, and if they pick up on it, great.
Mm-hmm.
And if they ask questions, we can dive in, but I try not to go heavy-handed with it. I love the art of the communication message in this space. I mean, the brands that I've built, particularly from a tone and manner perspective, should feel like warm hugs of trust.
Mm. I feel like that's one of our messages that we really want to convey is that there are people in a community that are doing these really cool and impactful things that are healthy for you and your family, but also the climate. So, what advice would you give someone if they asked and you were
Yeah.
not asked to be subtle,
Yeah.
that they could take to get started on a climate action journey?
I typically like to start with what they're putting in their mouth. Our food becomes us. Like
Mhm.
we are our food. I mean, even from the cellular biology of it all to um, the the dirt that it comes from. I want the dirt on there. I want that bacterial world to come in and on my body and through my body. So I think there's something really unique around that.
So your house is beautiful. We were geeking out about that earlier, and I know you've done a lot of work
Yeah.
to make it more eco-friendly. So
Yes.
can you tell us, other than choosing materials mindfully, what
Yes.
have you done to make your house more sustainable?
The big one that we did from a systems and infrastructure perspective is we did a big geothermal install. And so what I find, it was a big investment, but outside of the state tax credits, the federal tax credits, and the annualized savings, it's going to have a payback in 4.5 years.
That's really fast.
And then all the energy use that we have, we work with the state utility and then do all the green buybacks. And so this is essentially a net zero home when it comes to
That's awesome.
our energy impact as well.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So you have thought through this eco oasis and this one, right? So for your body and your home and your family, it's so cool and aspirational. You're such a big supporter of Bedford 2030.
Yes.
I would love to know why you think the work Bedford 2030 is doing is so impactful, especially right now with the urgency of climate change,
Yeah.
to help community members take climate action.
Well, if you look across the just look around the United States, and it's really rare to find a community-based organization that says, "Okay, let's wrap our arms around our neighbors and help each other." I loved the fact that there was an organization that existed that really helped empower and educate and showcase both the opportunities and responsibilities in a non-dogmatic and non-scary and a non-threatening way. So Bedford 2030, it's about empowerment, it's about education, it's about helping each other, it's about showcasing what we can do and the art of the possible, and with a sense of urgency and accountability. We have to do something. We must, and it starts here. It starts at your dinner time conversations with your kids. It starts with, what are you doing? How are you powering your home, and how are you caring for your body? And it starts every day. And so I was very, very thrilled and excited, and did everything I possibly could to get my way in and be a helpful supporter and do what I can to support the organization from near and afar, donations, and helping with the event, and being thoughtful on and where I can show up and how I can lend my voice and my actions to better.